The greatest power you possess is your ability to choose. Join Lowe's Moore as he reveals how you can begin to maximize that power by exploring yourself on the deepest levels and committing to making lasting and positive changes. Get ready to achieve breakthroughs that will lead to accelerated growth and transformation, because you are now tuned in to The Blueprint.
Why the actions contradict the lamb. I'm fellowshipping when I'm with the fam. That's more relations, that's foreign and foreign.
Hello and welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast. As you know, I'm your host for the Blueprint, Lowe's Moore, and I'm excited to be back with you guys again. Seemed like an eternity that we were on the show, but last week was so amazing. I mean, the last two shows were so amazing because it's summertime, and really around summertime, man, it's about family. Right? I mean, we're spending more time together. We're going on picnics, cookouts, man. We in the backyard. We got reunions, right? I mean, it's just for me, it's been an amazing summer. I started out in May. In May, we had the McNair family reunion in May in Plymouth, North Carolina, and then that was on my grandfather's side, on my mother's side, and then this past 4th of July, we had the Thomas reunion, right, and that's on my grandmother's side, and man, it's just been great being around family. I really truly enjoyed this summer. I hope you have as well. I know it's been hot, right? But look, hey, we here. The bottom line is, during the wintertime, particularly up here in New York, when it snows, I'm always like, hey, man, it's snowing out here, but I'm here. I'm here to experience and feel the cold. I'm here to experience the hot as well. Hey, my best solution, if you have the ability to get inside, right? Stay inside, stay cool, man, and take all the safety precautions that you can. Drink plenty of fluids, right? Get plenty of rest, right? And you may not feel like eating because it's so hot, right? So eat the right foods, right? Find yourself a salad, find your juice, find something that's healthy for you during that particular time. But remember, drink plenty of liquids, particularly water. So I'm excited to be back with you guys. Hey, we did a whole reunion thing. It was amazing last week. Finding out that from two people, man, came at least at the minimum over 1,600 people came from those two people. And then meeting family was important and powerful too. It was also amazing to see so many young kids. We had so many young kids in our family. I'm sure you do as well. I know it. I know it's hard, right? But you guys should at least try to put together a committee. And if you haven't had a family reunion in a while, put together a committee and, man, get together with your family, man. It's awesome. And this past weekend, right, the show before my reunion show, we had a Mount Vernon reunion, and in which the class of 80, 82, 84 from Mount Vernon High School has been doing reunions every 2 years, right? I want to give a shout out to Mr. Ralph Burtz, who used to do a number of reunions in Mount Vernon. And then a lot of people have moved everywhere, right? We moved from Mount Vernon, they moved to Atlanta, they moved to California, they moved to North Carolina. And so a group out of Atlanta started a reunions about 6 years ago, before the pandemic, and they started getting like 100 every other year, 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, and then they decided to come back to Mount Vernon, in which I think we got 300 or 400 people back at Mount Vernon High School. And this past weekend, right, as you know, on the podcast we showed that Mount Vernon invaded Charlotte, North Carolina. right? And over the weekend, and Marvin and crew was all over Charlotte, having a good time Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. And it looks like they enjoyed themselves. For me, right, I wanted to be there. My wife graduated from Marvin High School. I graduated from Marvin High School, and we wanted to be there, but we could not be there because we had prior obligations. And this past weekend, my wife and I, we were speakers at the Fresh Start Church Fresh Love Marriage Retreat. As you can see the flyer right there. And I tell you, there were more presentations, more speakers. These were the ones I could find. Everybody on there was awesome regarding marriage. I mean, we were there. I mean, we had couples there. I think the youngest couple in their marriage was like 8 months, right? And it's interesting. Let me say this to you. A few years ago, going to these retreats every year, every other year, going to these marriage retreats where we were at one time, like we were a young couple going to these marriage retreats. And now we find ourselves, we were saying like, oh yeah, we're 8 years married, 10 years married. You know, now we find ourselves when they said, you know, how many been married for a year, you know, under a year, under 5 years. And then people were raising their hands. And then we kept pointing up, keep going up, keep going up. We've been married 41 years come August, right? And we happened to be the oldest couple, you know, the longest married couple in the retreat. So it was a great time. I'm still a little tired from it, but it was a great time. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed meeting so many young married couples, man, and see how excited they were about being married and learning about marriage and growing in their marriage, man. I think that those are things that you have to do. If you want to keep your marriage fresh, right? I think you got to get together with other couples, and you got to get together and learn some strengths and weaknesses and what pitfalls you need to avoid and what things you could do to keep fire in your marriage and keep your marriage fresh, right? And we hosted the presentation on from fresh to death. You know, we say in our vows, to death do us part. Right. And it was just a powerful weekend, man. And I enjoyed every speaker. I enjoyed every couple that was there. And man, I can't wait till the next one happens. And I want to give a quick shout out to the team at Fresh Start, right, which included my oldest daughter, Michelle, and her husband. They were the host. They did a terrific job with everything, man. I mean, everything was amazing. They did a wonderful, wonderful job, man. Kudos to them, man. And hey, you always want to be able to pass the torch, right? Because we were doing marriage retreat, we were doing seminars, workshop. Now we're passing the torch, right? And it's good to be able to pass the torch to people who know what they're doing and, man, get the job done. So again, thank you guys, man, and it's awesome. But I'm gonna drop my pebble. Here's my pebble. It's like a little basketball, but here's my pebble. I'm gonna drop it in the pond, right? Yeah, I just dropped it in the pond. I'm expecting the ripple effect of tonight. I'm sure I've gotten a ripple effect of all the shows previously. I want to say thank you for your support. Thank you each and every week for your support. I mean, for all those who have subscribed, all those who have liked, I want to say thank you. And if you haven't, man, subscribe, follow, and like. I mean, I like to do that. So let's jump right into this. Let's get rolling because we got a long way to go. So let's get rolling on this. First off, I want to start with the books of the week. I got 2 books that I want to share with you. This is my my good friend Greg White. We competed against each other. He was at Marshall University. I was at West Virginia University. And he's a motivational speaker. If you can pop that back up there again. You can go to his website, Greg White Basketball, right? Go to his website. These are, hey, if you have a young person who's trying to be a student athlete, or if you have a young person who just wants to be successful, right? If you could show those two books again. Yeah, one is about attitude and one is about success. So, there you go. Success. Attitude is everything. Having the right attitude is everything. The winning edge, goal setting, and time management is so important. These are two very powerful books. He's a wonderful person, right? And check out his website, man. It's gonna be awesome, man. So here's my word of the week. And I mean, in Greg's book, he mentions goal setting. I mean, if you don't have any goal, I think the scripture in the Bible says, a people, I add the person, a people or person without a vision, right, will perish, right? I always believe that you got to make goals, regardless of age, right? It's something that keeps you motivated when you're moving towards something, right? If you're just sitting around doing nothing, right, you're going to find yourself, depressed, anxiety, stressed out, because you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around. Whether you be young or old, right, you should always be making goals. You should always be trying to achieve something. That's my word of the week. Look, make a goal. Think about something that you want to accomplish, right? You can't move forward until you make the goal. When you say in your mind, I want to go on this trip. Okay, make a goal. I'm going to go on this trip in 3 months, right? Because what happens is there's a chain reaction that happens. And next thing you know, right, you're sitting down, planning out, looking at your budget, looking at your resources, right? And sometimes, man, you don't even know how you got on that trip, right? But you never will get on the trip if you don't make a goal. So that's my word of the week, goal. And then here's my Pierce Harper affirmation moment. It says, too many of us are living our dreams, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears, right? Most people in fear are never going to do anything, right? Most people that say to themselves, oh, I can't do that, that's too hard. You never going to you're never going to achieve a dream, right? That's called living in fear. Right. And when you live in your dream, you're not afraid. You just look, I got to take the steps to do it. Right. I got to set the goal. Yeah, you're right, Mike. Goals defeat. Right. A mediocrity mindset. Right. And we got to have dreams. No matter what age you are, you should continue to dream. Don't live in your fears. Right? They'll say, oh, I'm an old man. I can't get over this. I'm too old to do this. No. Right? Set the dream. Think about it, dream about it, and do it. Right? And then here's my music and movie of the week. Maze. Everybody, Frankie Beverly and Maze. Right? It's called the one song I want to focus on is the golden time of day. It's called the golden time. You see all that gold on it. The golden time of day. They talk about in the song, the golden time of day is when the sun is setting, right? You done worked, you done had a good time, and all of a sudden it's time to rest. And you see that sun comes down, and like it's outside now. It's summertime. It's like it's golden outside, man. To sit outside and see the sun set is the golden time of day. I like that song, man, the golden time of day. And then this movie's out. Didn't see it yet, right? I hope it's still in the movies. Everybody been calling me, texting me, because I'm a movie guy, right? And I've been busy over the last 2 weeks with reunions and marriage retreat, so I haven't been to the movies, right? So the thing is, The Sound of Hope. I'm sure by now in a little while it's going to be on demand, right? But I always like going to the movies, like taking my wife to the movies, and seeing a real good movie. Hopefully it's still in the movie. It's not, I'm going to make sure we see it on demand, but you check it out as well, right? And then just real quick, I want to pause for a moment, digress for a moment, and I want to talk about two individuals who are no longer with us. I think I downloaded that. Joe Bryant. That's Joe Jelly Bean Bryant. I mean, I'm a former NBA player. Love basketball. I'm in the basketball fraternity, and when people who are in your fraternity leave you, right, it's really a sad moment. I got a chance. Joe Jelly Bean Bryant is Kobe Bryant's father, who recently passed, right? And I remember playing against his father. He was with the 76ers, and I was with the Nets, right? I mean, we saw Kobe. Joe Bryant was about 6'7", 6'8", handled like a guard. I mean, he was before his time. I mean, his son got to do what he couldn't do in the league because he was big. And then we always tell people that if they're big, no, you can't dribble. If you big, you're not supposed to take that shot. You're supposed to get down low on the post. You're not supposed to do that, right? And now, Kobe played in a time where he was like 6'6", 6'7", and he could dribble like a guard. He could shoot like a guard, right? But his dad had all those skills. It was just before his time, right? If he was playing in this day, he'd be a superstar in this day. And then the Magic co-founder, right? Pat Williams, man, this hurt me to my heart, right? Because Pat was a good friend of mine. And we used to talk all the time. He's a man of faith, right? He's a man of faith. We used to talk about God all the time. He talked about the chapels and stuff like that. Great orator. I mean, great speaker, great motivational speaker. And whenever I needed something, if somebody needed tickets or something like that to go to the Orlando Magic game, I mean, he would just, treat them like they were family. And, he's going to truly be, these guys are going to be missed, but Pat Williams going to be sorely missed because, man, he loved people, right? I mean, he had the love of God in his heart. And so, may they both rest in peace, man. They're going to be really, really, truly missed. Yeah. Awesome, man. So, before I want to get started now, and there's a video. There's a video that I want to show. It's a player who's talking about my guest tonight, right? And I want to show that video first. Somewhere down the line, I'll show the other video. But let's check that. Let's check that video out. Yeah, I think you showed that was the Asia Fair. Of course, my guest is going to who coached the Asia Fair. We'll talk about her in a moment, but I want to show that one more video. Not the one you corrected, babe. The other one before that. I want to show that before me and Keith talks. Wow. I want to welcome to the Blueprint head basketball coach at Hudson Valley Community College, Keith Danzy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Taylor, I'm good. How are you? Thank you for
I'm
having me.
good. Oh, you welcome, man. It's my pleasure. And man, I was looking at that video earlier, and I was thinking, like, man, how many girls is that? I mean, how many young ladies is that are in college now that you had the opportunity, man, to pour into, and now that they have played or still playing in college? I mean, how many?
That's a good question. You lose track after a while. You're just happy, you're blessed to, have to be in a position to pour into young people's lives. So I don't have a number off the top of my head, but it's impactful. I will say that.
Well, let's name some schools. I saw Fordham, right?
Hmm.
I saw Marist,
Correct.
Siena. Was it Lincoln?
Hmm.
Who else was it? How many?
North Carolina Central,
North Carolina
Syracuse,
Central,
Boston College, Virginia Tech.
Central Connecticut, Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Uh, it's a ton of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you Albany, of course,
You
close to
Albany,
here as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Canisius, Niagara. So it's a long list of great institutions our kids had the pleasure and to be having to pursue their opportunities of educational advancement.
Yeah. There go the many faces. Keith Danzy right there.
That's dope. That's awesome.
Oh man, but man, it's great seeing you. Let me preference how I got to this, how we got to Keith, man. It's interesting, man, how God works. On Monday, I was at a vendors fair for New York City School District, and I'm trying to find a table. I go upstairs, and there's a gentleman there, and he says, "Hey, man, you look familiar." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He said, "My name is Aaron." I said, "Okay, my name is Lowe's." He, "Oh, I know who you are. You from? I remember you from Albany, the Albany Patroons, and stuff like that." He showed me to my table. I was like, "Okay." I still didn't know who he was, so I was like, "Okay." And I was just kind of focused on, is this my table? Because the people who were partnering with me, this is my first time with them. They've been doing this for a while, so I don't know how this works. And so I ended up holding the table for them, and eventually they came in and said, "No, we're on the main floor." So we went down on the main floor, and I had just launched Lowesmore Global Communications, motivational speaking, counseling, and workshops and stuff like that, trying to get into some of the schools there. Later on the day, Aaron came back, and of course the young man, Miguel Melbourne, who I was with, has a program called Pathways to Purpose, and he does college prep and career prep opportunities for school districts, from elementary school, middle school, high school, and so we're just meeting everybody, networking with everybody, talking. It was hundreds of vendors there, and at the end, Aaron comes by. He comes back by and he says, "Hey, man, this guy's a legend." And he started talking, man. I was part of his hoop school, little clinics he used to have and stuff like that. And he gave me his card, and his card said Aaron Barnett. I was like, "Are you Betty Barnett's son?" And because I remember seeing him in Albany, I remember seeing him play in high school. We had a nice little game, and but it's a small world, right?
Yes, it
A
is.
very, very small world. And then Miguel said, "Well, he calls me coach anyway. He's like, yo, coach me, So they talking back and forth, and so now I leave it, and I'm walking the other day. I think it was like Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you give me. All of a sudden, I see I'm in the library talking to one of my friends. I met him at the Bronxville Library as I was walking, and we were sitting there talking. I saw you. You had called me a couple of times, and then you had texted me, and then when I got out the library, because you're supposed to be quiet in the library. I mean, but once I once I got out the library, I'm walking, and I called you, and you started talking about the hoop school. Hey, I remember I was in the hoop school. We don't want to come up, want you guys to come up and see if we can honor you guys like that. And I was thinking like that's twice, man. I ain't heard the hoop school in years.
Mm.
And I was like, man, there must be something to it. And then it just resonated with me. Hey, man, I got to get Keith to come on. Because my daughter came home and she said, man, you know Keith Danzy? I was like, yeah, I know Keith Danzy. You from Albany? He's like, yeah, yeah. And that's when I found out you were doing this whole wonderful thing of helping young women become student athletes, right? And she spoke very highly of you and what you were doing. And she always say, yeah, Keith is one of the good guys, like that. I don't know
Oh, I
what that means,
appreciate
but
that. Well, the AAU world is,
yeah,
you have
yeah.
a lot of different characters in the AAU world. So that's a compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and so talk to me about number one. Let's go back because I got I always ask this question. Talk to me about the importance of family, the importance of growing up, mom or dad or siblings. Talk about that, where you grew up at. Talk about that, and talk about it from the perspective of the power, importance of family, faith, and their demand on you for becoming educated.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. First of all, and foremost, faith is very strong in our family. I grew up in a two-family household, mother and father. My mother was the person who did all the legwork with the children. So if we were involved with any sports, she was the one who took us to practice, raised money for different clubs that we were a part of, whether it was football, baseball, basketball. She was super involved. And she was the person that got me basically lit my fire as far as being not a philanthropist, but like my desire to like give back to our community by way of sports and helping young people achieve their goals. Um, and that type of love for a community that my mother showed a lot of kids that were not in our own household, is something that was embedded in me and something I want to give to the world as well. It just help people achieve their goals and help them to find their true passion in life, and however we can help cultivate that, do the best job we can of doing that.
Yeah, no, and so graduating from high school. I mean, I think every kid wants to well is thinking with a dual mindset. Like I want to be a good student, but I want to play football. I want to play basketball. I want to do this, that, and so, what was your mindset? What were you looking at? What was your dream at that? As you go through the school system and you enter high school. What were you thinking? In terms of what you wanted to do once you got out of high school.
Got it. Honestly, that was unclear to me. Both of my parents, had great jobs, but they didn't necessarily went to school after high school. They came up from South Carolina and Georgia and entered the workforce, like many people did back in the day,
Hmm.
right? They went to where the jobs were, and this was bomb to Albany, New York. And for me, it's just trying to figure out, what I wanted to do. And once I figured out that a lot of my friends are going to school as a way that it can be a mechanism to change our lives and get us to a different, socioeconomical status, and we all decide, all my close friends went away to college. So I said, well, maybe I should too. So I enrolled in community college, like all my friends did, and a couple of my friends went off to four-year institutions. And while I was at the institution, I decided to play sports, which I wasn't going to initially, until the coach, said, "Hey, I didn't know you were here. You got to join the team. We need you." And from there, that kind of light a fuse as well to like, what? I can use this thing called basketball as a tool to help me pay for my education. Because my mother and father couldn't afford to send me to a 4-year school. I wanted to go to Syracuse, and who can afford 45, $50,000 a year back in 1990? So I said, maybe I'll try this JUCO route. Maybe I'll play a little hoop over here and see where it takes me. And I was forever blessed with the opportunity to join the team. And we went off to do some remarkable things there, being ranked number 2 in the country, which opened a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities to play collegiate basketball on scholarship at different schools. So that would help. Actually, that actual JUCO opportunity helped pave my way to a 4-year, degree.
Yeah. And so you end up going to the school you're coaching at currently, right?
Correct. Correct.
So you end up going to Hudson Valley Community College, which is a great community college. I must say, I mean, and the thing is, yeah, it's tricky, right?
Mm,
I always say that sometimes people come out of high school and they don't really know what they want unless somebody walk up to you and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you a scholarship. I'm gonna give you a scholarship to based on your academics." Right? Because they see you tested a certain way, or they see you're a good student, but you also play sports, so they're gonna give you a scholarship. Most people don't know if they don't have those opportunities.
mm,
Most people don't know what they want to do, and sometimes they make the mistake of just going out, getting a loan, and going to a 4-year school. Whereas I've seen what I experienced when I was coaching at Hudson Valley Community College after my playing career. That was my first coaching job at Hudson Valley. And I was also part of the administration in regards to being a student athlete, right? And just getting to meet people and asking questions about, well, why are you at Hudson Valley Community College, right? Why did you choose to come here? A lot of kids, I would say 70, 80% of the kids that I spoke to said, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I got out of college. So I said, let me stay close to home, right? And let me go to a community college, or what they call junior college. Let me go there first. Let me see if I can manage this, or if I can do well here. Because I don't know. Some people go out and they get the loan, spend the money, and then in debt, right? But they don't even know if they could achieve the goal or be successful going there. So it was good to hear people say, yeah, I'm going to take this 2 years and I'm going to go to school, right? And then I'll figure out where I want to go next. And Hudson Valley was a good school where you could go there for 2 years. If you excel, then other opportunities came your way. So, yeah, I mean, I hope somebody's out there and they got kids and they listening. You have to know 100% for sure that your kid is going to be dedicated before you spend the money, before you get the loan, right? That your kid wants to excel at that level, right? And sometimes the best thing is to go to a 2-year school until you figure it out. So, yeah, I mean, and then after that, what you excel there, right? And after that, you end up going.
I went to Gannon. I got a Division II scholarship to Gannon University. I mind you, I only played 1 year of JUCO basketball. I was I was a first team All American Player of the Year in the conference, and I was offered a scholarship at I guess Loyola, Maryland as well, where I think Kenny Ballard was there from Illinois, was the head coach, but he only had one scholarship. They offered it to someone else already. And he said, well, if this one kid doesn't say yes, the scholarship is yours, And that day, that kid said yes. But he said, if you want to come the following year, the spot's yours. So with me, I was close to graduating already. I said, I'm going to, take the first opportunity, plus, it's kind of semi close to home, and I'll take that. And that's when Gannon University came knocking, and they said, hey, we'd love you to come up here and play again. And at that time, Sports Illustrated did a story on that school saying it was a Division II school in a Division I atmosphere. So I was like, well, I got to go see this, So I went up there, and the Hammer Rail Center was true to form. It was rocking and rolling. We were like a mini Siena in Erie, Pennsylvania. So it was a phenomenal experience, phenomenal school, right on Erie, Lake Erie. This is a phenomenal experience, and I'm forever in debt to Mr. Bob Duquette, who recently passed away as well a few years ago. Um, I'm super thankful for him to taking a chance on a kid from Arbor Hill.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, man. You said that so easy, man. I know Gannon's a great school, right? And you said you had a beautiful time, and yeah, but I was in Erie, right? And my son Isaiah, he played wheelchair basketball,
Mm.
and he went to Edinburgh.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's right down the road,
Arrival.
and I played. There was a World Basketball League, and they had the Erie Wave.
Yes.
And I played with the Erie Wave, and I coached with the Erie Wave. The nice thing about that, it was during the summer, right? Cause man, it is freezing. I mean, you can't even, man, you don't even have a definition for cold in Erie. You said what? Lake Erie, right?
Lake Erie. Yeah,
Yeah,
that snow
man.
is real. It's real.
Oh my God. Hey man, you were very fortunate to even have fans come out, man, because it's like that joint. I call it the mini Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's freezing. It's
Oh yeah.
snow. It's freezing. Oh man, but hey, you made it through, man. I mean, and I was a GM for the Erie Wave, and I brought in a couple of guys that tried out and played with the Albany Patroons when I was doing that during the summertime there. Yeah, man. But you said it so smooth. I mean, you was like, yeah, man. I was in Lake Erie and Gannon University. I'm like, what? It's freezing out there.
And the funny thing, Lowe's, when I first started, I thought Gannon originally was in Philadelphia.
Oh,
That's why I was
come
super
on,
excited
man.
until I went on the trip. Like, oh my goodness, thank God I went in the summertime for the visit. Otherwise, I might have changed my mind.
Oh, definitely. If they was doing recruiting in the winter and you went
Oh,
out there,
forget about
you
it.
definitely not
Woo!
going.
Oh
Woohoo!
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, here's the crazy thing, because I don't know. I ain't gonna say it's a black thing, right? I think we just didn't check our maps. I mean, when like in school, you checking your maps, like where everything is, right? Because I don't. I definitely when I was playing with the Nets, next year I ended up playing in CBA.
Mm.
And then my agent called me and said, "Hey man, you going to Montana?" I thought I heard he said Malibu. I was thinking like I was going to California,
Oh Lord.
right? And then I flew into Billings, Montana. I landed, man. It was like
Oh,
a one horse town, man. It was like one conveyor belt, man. Miniature conveyor belt. My bag could fit on there. I mean, and there was tumbleweeds flowing around up in there and snow-capped mountains in the thing. I was like, man, I should have looked at the map before I went there.
funny.
No, but hey, you know what? It's an opportunity,
Yeah.
right? Somebody gave us an opportunity, and you take advantage of the opportunity. You end up graduating with a degree,
Mm.
and kind of the rest is history. What happens? What happened like after that? I mean, what happens after you get your degree? What do you decide to do?
Well, I come back home, try to figure things out. Try to find employment, of course. And I started working for the state place called Brookwood Secure, which is like a juvenile detention center for youth. And we dealt with some of the worst,
What
worst
was the name of
criminals.
it?
Brookwood Secure, Brookwood,
Okay,
and
Brookwood.
it's like
Okay,
it's basically it's the same as like a Spotsford or Harlem Valley,
yeah.
down your way.
Tryon.
Tryon, exactly. So we were part. I worked there for a little bit, and you know, which was great. But it just was a situation where it was just every day you got to come to work to watch your back a little bit. Again, at that time the facilities were ran so smooth. It was under great leadership. The staff was awesome. But I just didn't want to come in every day and just. It was great. I would say pouring into young people at that level, But some of those kids were doing lifers, life, you know, and they were just, they were receptive to information, but a lot of times their outcome is already determined for them, unfortunately, because of
Yeah.
the choices they made. So, we made a lot of great inroads with a lot of these young people, a lot of breakthroughs, but ultimately had to go up to the big house when they aged out. And I felt so bad every time a kid left when they graduated from, I call it graduating to the penitentiary. And I knew it would be a hard situation for them.
Yeah.
And that kind of pulled at my heart a little bit. So I just wanted to just get out that environment, you know. During that time as well, I started helping out with the AAU stuff. I had a niece, well, I call my god sister, who basically needed a coach for AAU. And then my a god brother's like, hey, can you coach her, man? Because no one else, she won't listen to nobody else. So she needs strong leadership. I'm like, oh boy. So we started a program called Uncle Sam Lady Hoopsters, with a bunch of young
Say
people.
that again.
We started a program called Uncle Sam's Lady Hoopsters. It's a it was based out of like the Rensselaer County area, and we took those young ladies, around the country, a bunch of Albany kids and Schenectady kids, and we made some noise with just a small fraction of kids from that small population, and did some nice things on the national circuit. And then from there, I've been retiring ever since. But every year, another parent, always called me out of retirement saying one more year. And that one more year turned to like 27, 28 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, while you're doing that for 27, 28 years, you're also, you know, you're also working.
Yes. Yes.
So talk about the work first. Talk about what it is that your main thing.
Yeah.
What's been the main thing over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked for Office of Children's Family Service as well with CPS type of services. So that was a different level of just basically working at that particular the New York State Register when you're just assessing calls and of child abuse and neglect, and then I guess submitting and allowing caseworkers to go out to homes throughout the state and check on the welfare of children and families. Um, and that also was a job that was very emotional and draining because every time someone called you, it was always bad news, never good news. Never called you and said a kid's doing well. It's always calling and say a kid was being abused and maltreated, and it transitioned through any type of socioeconomical level. I don't care from doctors to lawyers to you know deadbeats. There's always situations where children were not taken care of the correct way. So when you think it couldn't happen in that home, it's probably happening in that home. So no one is above maltreatment or abuse of a child. Some of our biggest cases came from high profile people, unfortunately. you know.
Yeah.
So I did that, a little bit of Department of Health. I'm currently with the Hudson Valley Community College EOC at this moment in time, and I am a currently assistant coordinator of student services for the college and careers. So basically, we reach out to students and older, say adults who may need some additional training or skills to be able to reenter the workforce or even get into the college to get into the college sector. So we have a bunch of different programs we offer. We're building in trades, college prep, culinary arts, hospitality. You can get your high school equivalency exam with us. I mean, high school equivalency diploma for us. Your medical office administration certificates. A bunch of different programs we offer to get people back on their feet and try to get gainful employment.
Yeah. I mean, how's that going? I mean, in terms of finding people, you know, work in the workforce today.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody's saying that there's a workforce shortage. Everybody's trying to find people to fill spots. So for us, it's basically we can train these individuals for these jobs. It can help with that job demand, correct? Right? So that's part of the process of the AOC is basically to help identify those areas of opportunities for our people to gain employment in different sectors in the
Yeah.
capital region, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's cool. So that now you're in, you're going through this process, and you end up with, continue with the basketball. You end up with another program.
Yes. Yeah, I
You go
transitioned to the.
from Uncle Sam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk about that, man, because it
Got it.
seems like that's the next level for young people.
Got it. So when I got to City Rocks, so like again, I was retiring every year. I started doing AAU. I was like, I do it for one more year. So the City Rocks had started at AAU, but they're already known on the boys' side nationally. So they started the girls' side. So I sent all my
Okay,
young
so let
ladies.
me ask you a question.
Yep.
How did you get, being a man as a basketball player,
Got it.
right? Okay, I get it. I get it because you started out with your niece. Okay,
Yes,
I got
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
God
So
sister,
go
so it's two.
continue. I
Yes,
got it.
yeah. So that was Keanu. That was Keanu Wakefield who went to George Mason, and then I believe went off to George Mason, did her thing there with a local person, Marcel Harrison. You may know her father they call Earl Harrison Squirrel,
Squirrel. Yeah, yeah.
Squirrel, who recently passed away as well.
Wow.
But he was a great guy, great mentor to us as well. So since we had a relationship, Earl's like a father figure in a sense. Marcel, we kind of grew up together, high school sports. What better place to send a kid of yours that's someone who you already know and trust. So
Yes.
she was recruited by all bunch of ACC schools, things of that nature. But we sent her to down to George Mason because of Marcel and the relationship we had with her. But after that, as you said, transitioned into the City Rocks. I was done. So when City Rocks started the girls program, I was like, awesome, I'm done. I'm gonna send all my young ladies to the City Rocks, and I can go off into the sunset. So they did it for 1 year. It was a total, I guess, it wasn't the best situation, and they said they were going to shut the City Rock girls program down after 1 year. And I reached out to Jim Hart, the president owner. I said, if I said I'll come back if you give me the program, let me control it, I'll do it. Don't really need anything from you. I'll just take over it and run it. He says, okay. He said, I'm not supporting this at all, but if you want it, it's all yours. You know what I mean? He said, it's all yours. Like no support from the boys' side at all. I'm like, oh, sheesh. So uh, I took on responsibility and I got rid of all the teams and I started with one national elite team. And that team, was the foundation of what was to come. And we had a phenomenal a group of young ladies from far as Poughkeepsie up to I think Rochester, Syracuse, and we did a great job of reintroducing the program nationally, so to speak,
Yeah.
and the rest was history.
Wow. Yeah, and you could see in the video, the results of your guys' impact in the lives of those young ladies. I mean, it was just amazing. I was like, wow, wow, wow. And then listen to Sherelle. I had to ask Sherelle. I said, man, did you get any of Keith's girls? He's like, man, you know, Keith girls are going to the next level. They going above mid majors, and I was like, okay, okay. He said, I got to look back and see if we may got a one or two, Yeah, so you must have been producing, and developing. I heard an interview you had with I can't remember what is. They said Keith Dan's is a great developer of basketball players. I mean,
Oh,
hey, that's a high compliment too. Yeah.
I would say the kids that we found were very talented, but at the same time, I guess the niche I had was get them to play well with other people. Like you always had one alpha female on the high school team to take all the shots, bad shots, because they didn't trust their teammates. But when they came to us, we kind of forced them to trust their teammates and be able to play well with others. And that was the piece the development piece I think that was most important, getting those alpha females to be able to trust their teammates.
Oh, you talking about like what's the girl play with the Dallas Wings? What's her name?
That's Sierra Dillon. She was that was Sarah Dillon. She was a real deal. I mean, she's still, she thinks she's over in Egypt now, killing them, still averaging 30 some odd points a game over there. I don't know why she's not in the league. Quite honestly, I know sometimes certain people don't fit the eye test, so to speak, but the kid is so skilled and talented. It breaks my heart not to see that kid in the league. You know, she's that good.
Yeah. So talk about some of the girls that you had. Name you had. I showed earlier, Deasia Fair,
Mm-hmm.
who's I think either second or third all-time leading scorer in the history of college women's college basketball.
Hmm.
So talk about some of them young ladies, and then when you looked at them, when you were working with them, did you and did you see that potential, or you saw it, probably saw the potential, but did you think they could reach that potential, like get that Power Five scholarship or go on to the WNBA?
You know what? We always say, like they always say, no ceilings. You know, sky's the limit, so to speak. Um, I couldn't say I seen any of my young ladies get to the WBA because I know how hard it is to get there. It's the hardest professional organization to become a member of. You know, it's so hard. It's harder than NBA because there's not enough teams to accommodate for all the talent, right?
Right.
Um, so for me, I knew my kids would do well on the collegiate level. I knew they all were ready for that. I knew they all would excel if they're given the proper opportunities. Like a kid like Rachel Coffey was number one ball handler in the country. She played for me out of Kingston, New York. Phenomenal ball handler. I mean, like better than most boys. You know, had another young lady named Brianna Kiesel, who was a phenomenal guard. Got drafted to WBA as well. She went to the. She was also drafted to Tulsa, Oklahoma, actually Tulsa, and she did really well there. It finished her career at the Atlanta Dream. Just a phenomenal guard. Played at the same time as Brianna Stewart in our Syracuse, Utica area,
Right.
but just a phenomenal, talented kid. And she should have beat Brianna Stewart out there in the regional championships out there in Syracuse. But Bree got a lot of love out there. We
That's
had
right.
two Brees, a little small Bree and a big 6'3", 6'4" Bree. But my little Bree was the real deal too. She can definitely go. I had a kid out of Boston, by the name of Khadija Ellison, 5'7" kid that could dunk a soccer ball or dunk a softball. Phenomenal bungee. So every game before we got started, what I would do, I run a horn set, 1-4 high set, and we would do a play called Magic. And I would tell Rachel, they play together, I would say, throw it to the rim, even if the 6'5" kid is there regardless. And every time, Khadija would go and get the ball over the 6'5" kid. I didn't care if she made it, it was just showing the scouts her athletic ability and
Right.
how talented she was. And she wound up going to I think Carolina, I believe, the Pirates. But she had originally had a scholarship to
Oh,
Mississippi State.
was it East Carolina? Yeah,
Mississippi,
yeah,
East
yeah,
Carolina, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But she originally had a scholarship to Mississippi State. But it's phenomenal. One of the most phenomenal, talented kids as well. Another kid out of Boston as well. Her name is Donasia Fountain. Went to Georgia Tech. Um, Super aggressive, physically a physical specimen that can score on all three levels. Phenomenal kid. Still calls me to this day to check on things and see how things are going. Again, we have our local kids like a Maya Willingham, who went to Siena, is doing phenomenal things in Florida. Is a businesswoman, a collegiate official, doing phenomenal things. We had, Emily Durr, the all-time leading scorer for New York State, broke, Breonna Stewart's record, and is currently all-time leading scorer for New York State. I still believe that's the case. And she went out to Iowa State and did her thing out there. And she's currently the assistant coach at Illinois right now as well, doing phenomenal things as well. It's just so many young ladies that I've had the pleasure to coach. I'd be remiss if I left some out. Of course, Dodger Fair did her thing as well. Super talented kid came in, and then everybody's thing was, can she play? Can she be coached? Because she was at Edison High School. She's a one-man wrecking machine. She had to shoot the ball, rebound the ball, defend the ball. Pretty much one by herself. And she didn't mind doing it. But when she came with us, she proved to everybody she can play with other elite kids. And by God, she took that, opportunity with Buffalo, showed the world that she can play at a high level. When they transitioned to Syracuse, she
Mm-hmm.
didn't miss a beat, and didn't miss a beat, So she proved that she can play with on any level, at the highest level, and leave her mark. So super proud of that young lady as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, so many great talented young ladies over the years. Um, and I think one year we had like three girls in the top three in the nation scoring, which was Hannah Friend, who was out in California playing at the where was she at? I keep forgetting the name of that school. Start with a P. Um, sheesh, was it?
It'll come to you one
Yeah, it'll
time.
come to me. With Hannah Friend, she was like number two. We had like another young lady that played Central Connecticut, Keanu Williams. He was like number three or four as well in the country. And he also had Sierra Dillard, who was like one or two. And all three at the same time were the top five in the country leading scorer. So that
Wow.
from a little program and from Albany, New York, made that type of impression on a national level, on a collegiate level, which is pretty amazing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. And we're gonna digress for a second,
Yeah.
real quick. Talk about, I mean, any family, sons, daughters. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I have one son, 23-year-old Isaiah, my little man. He was a student at Niagara University. He was like wherever we were with the girls, he was always there with me. He's my little coach, my right hand man. He went to Albany Academy, played with Andre Jackson on that New York State Federation Championship team. That was a great run, great ride as well. Just a great young man. Hopefully, I hope God orders his steps that he, comes out to do great things in life.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I seen some pictures. I was like, yeah, that's the man right there. Oh man, no, that's good, man. And yeah, powerful, man. When especially to spend time with your kids doing things that they like to do, seeing them grow up, graduate. I mean, isn't amazing? Yeah, cause we find ourselves helping others,
Mm,
but we can't forget about ours, right? And sometimes in the church, one of the negative aspect in regards to preaching used to be, I'm not gonna paint with a broad brush, but
mhm,
we were busy taking care of the church, busy saving souls, right? That we neglected our family,
mm.
right? And so sometimes you gotta find the balance between. I had to find the balance as a coach. My wife had to find the balance as a coach of the Mount Vernon High School women's team. The balance between coaching these girls who needed so much and me coaching guys who needed so much, right? But yet still find the time, definitely find the time as a top priority to take care of home,
Absolutely.
right? And it looks
And,
like you
and
did that.
well, I'll say it was a struggle. I'm not perfect. I'm not the best at it. I would say, we try. It's all trial and error. Were there things, I would do differently? Now, absolutely. Life teaches us lessons, right? We learn from our mistakes, and then hopefully, we can, appreciate those mistakes and hopefully make atonement for it as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And we got on. I'm gonna pop them on, man, and then you tell me. Yeah, you know that guy. Uh
Who's
oh.
that? Uh-oh. Oh, is that? Oh, Bobby White, loser. There's my, there's my, that's one of the best guards in Albany ever. Uh-oh. Oh,
Yeah,
Gary
he's a
Murray.
fan.
Oh, Lord. You owe me. Okay.
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 I can hear you guys,
What's
but I
up,
can't
brother?
hear you guys. Doc, is there a way to cut up the volume or no?
Man, Gary, where you at, man? Where are you? Gary, where are you?
What's that?
Where are you?
Say that one more time.
Where you living at?
Where you at?
I'm at my kid. One of
No,
my
no,
kids
where
from my
you?
football team invited us over. Hold on
Okay.
one second.
I
Yeah,
think
you gotta
Gary
go. You
disconnected.
gotta go where
Give me
it's
one
quiet.
second.
Boozer, what's up, man?
I see that.
Lowe's, what's up?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
My man,
Can you get that guy off the screen, please?
Like, now just you, now
Oh,
you
I've been
to tell
look.
everybody what I taught you.
Maybe it's a good
my
thing that you
love,
did
man.
get him on the line. I've been trying to get that guy forever.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I got a quick story. So, I went to do me and I can't remember who it was. We went down to the Arbor Hill Community Center, and we saw Omar and Boozer. I mean, they was just torching people, man. Omar was throwing it around his neck. Boozer was like a miniature Michael Jordan hanging in the air, and that's what I call him. I said, there go little Jordan right there, and there goes the little O, not the big O, like the Oscar Robinson. Omar was controlling the game and dishing it to Boozer, and Boozer was just taking people, man.
Oh, man.
Oh man,
Did you invite Omar?
yeah, he's supposed to be on. Let's see
Okay,
here.
okay. KD, what's good with you?
I can't call that Mike spoil it, man. You look good, brother.
What? Man, I'm trying. Don't spoil it. We need to get out on that water. We can discuss that afterward. I need to get your info, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you mean get out there and fish? You talking about fishing? Not
Yes,
or
sir.
swimming? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Fishing.
real quickly, one of the things Derek Rowland was supposed to pop on too as well, and
Okay.
it sparked something because Keith was talking about the hoop school, right?
O said
And
let him in.
huh?
O said let him in. O
Oh, said let him in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
What's up
Let me
with
see.
Kenny? Is Kenny still around?
Yeah, Kenny's he's in Louisiana now.
What part?
I don't know what part of Louisiana he's in. Man, he won't return a call, man. I told
I'm
Keith
going
that.
down there on Wednesday.
I told Keith that. I said, man, I call, and he's my daughter, my youngest daughter, Sherelle. He's her godfather.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And we can't get in touch with him. You can't get in touch with him. So, but when he wants something, he called me like, "Hey, Lowe's, I need you tell me something, man. I need you to get some information for me." Yeah, but when I call him, he can't call me. But I mean, here's
No
the.
comment.
Let me find out from my wife. I sent it to the wrong person. She ain't gonna let me in if I send it to the wrong person. Let's see. Yeah. Uh-oh. Let's see.
There you go.
Oh! We got the whole crew in here.
Wow.
Yo, we're going to Second Street Park right now. Oh,
My name's still on the backboard up there.
Uh-oh.
That's my part.
this anymore.
That's my part.
We got Albany in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. We got Gary Mary. We got Jermaine White. We got Boozer. He don't nobody know about no Jermaine White. There go Coach D.
Yeah.
Mr. Rowland.
There go Derek
There you
Rowland.
go.
What's happening?
You got Gary Mary. You got Boozer. You got Keith. Right? Hey, so check this out, man. This is how we got rolling. Keith called me up. We started talking, and he mentioned the hoop school. Then I was at a New York City vendors program, and Aaron Barnett was at the vendors program. So he started talking about the hoop school, man. So Derek and I don't know what Gary Derek and I, right, and Kenny Nat, right? We were always trying to do clinics around Albany together, and we used to sit down and strategize and talk about like what didn't we receive that we thought young men needed to receive if they wanted to be successful as student athletes. And so we used to sit around talk about setting up the clinics and doing life skill sessions. And we even had it where when the videos first came out, we had video championships, as well as the clinic. And then we started doing parent sessions, for parents and stuff like
Hey,
that,
Doc,
man.
real quick.
Yeah.
Doc, real quick. They were called skull sessions. That's what you guys
Yeah,
call
Skull
absolutely.
sessions.
skull
Skull
sessions.
Yeah, skull sessions.
absolutely.
But before there was what we consider today, everybody is a personal trainer, right? And getting paid for it, right? We were like the first personal trainers, individual skill development and stuff like that back in the day, called a hoop school.
Yes.
Yeah, and all the guys on the call are hoop school members. Hey, D,
Yes, sir.
D, tell us how much money we made.
I don't know if you made any loans.
No, we didn't make no money. We didn't even ask for any money.
Right.
I mean, somebody gave us a grant or they gave us a sponsorship,
Right.
but that was to buy the food and the uniforms and get the basketball. But we didn't make no money. We just wanted to be able to give back, right, or to prepare you guys and make you aware of what it is to actually be a student athlete.
Right.
Yeah.
That
So
was it. That was the goal.
yeah. So
That had a major impact on my life. I know, especially as far as being part of my foundation as a whole athlete, because the whole athlete was important to you guys. On top of all, you guys were tremendously talented, so it was easy to look up to, and we had the best mentors. So it made a big impact on my life as far as my basketball and school and the importance of both.
yeah.
And I echo that same sentiment.
Yeah.
There's still
Like you say, now everybody's a trainer and everybody's doing it. Want money for this and money for that. So it was a blessing in disguise to have guys of you guys' caliber giving back to us. Kind of few that
Uh-oh.
want to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at it as a labor of love as well. That you guys gave back to our community, which no one else was doing back in those days. And to this day, with all my athletic accounts, I named them the hoop school accounts just because of the love I have for you guys.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's what made us who we were, because it was just part of what we had to do. And I'm sure that made us better on the court as well. Just being out there and just doing that stuff. You slept well at night. You were part of the solution, and you were giving back. And as I see these guys these days, I'm very happy that they're all men, responsible young men right now, and that's what it was all about for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the thing was that. Yeah, we always we played in the pros, so that's what we wanted for everybody. Everybody that dreamt about playing in the pros, that's what we wanted. But most importantly was that, we wanted you to be good citizens. We wanted you ultimately to be good people, right? And we wanted you ultimately, man, to get into if it wasn't, the basketball career, then be able to move from there to get into find that career, find that other gifting that you have, and to move forward. And also the number one thing is, besides that, is give back, right? Go ahead.
And also the full circle moment for me as well, where I had the distinct pleasure of coaching Derrick Rose's daughters.
Yes.
It don't get no better than that.
And they all today are doing great. Doing great things, man. They've all retired. The biggest thing was, I had 5 children, and I was 5 for 5 for
You
4.
was not playing, man. You was not
I
playing.
know.
You want your own team.
I was not playing. I know. Hey, the Bible says be fruitful. I was certainly being fruitful.
That's the
But they
scripture.
all played college basketball. And I'm sure that there was many players and kids that benefited from the things that we were doing because, the people in Albany had players. We were at the highest level. Nobody had the knowledge and experience that we had. So it was our duty to give back. And that's what we certainly did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And Derek's out. He out at the NBA Summer League out there in Vegas.
I'm at the game right now. I'm watching Spurs and the Raptors play right now. I'm in the stairwell. I'm trying to find some quietness. I couldn't find anywhere to go, man. So I'm in the stairwell. So if it sounds a little echoey here, that's why I am. Today is my birthday, so I'm out here chilling.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, King.
Watching a little bit of pro basketball. Couldn't be much better than this. So, really,
That's a heck of a birthday present.
Yes, really blessed, man, to see these. And right now, the NBA, I mean, all these guys are like 18 and 19 years old here. You know what I mean? It's really, a different type of league right now, with the young players coming in and all this here stuff going on. But everything changes. Nothing really stays the same. So it's just a lot of blessings going on, and I'm just happy to be where I am and doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool. The head coach of the Albany Patroons.
Yeah, that's it's Lowe's. It's been a journey, man. And I'm just fortunate. My son plays for me. I got a lot of nice young men on my team, and I'm just trying to develop these young men and helping them reach some of their goals. And that's my biggest thing: player development and teach them to understand a lot of things that you need to understand in this process and stage that they're in their life that we've already experienced. So it's just
A lot of competition out there, I'll tell you that much.
yeah.
Yes. And I want to show you, can you go back to that one hoop school thing for me real quick? Yeah, it says the hoop school was founded by no specific order. Lowe's Moore, Derek Rowland, Kenny Nat. I think in the 80s, while we were playing for the Continental Basketball Association called the CBA. CBA was like the G League of its time. The hoop school's motto was "Go for your dream, but only education creates choices." Right. The program used basketball as an instrumental tool to teach the importance of education, life skills, the prevention of substance abuse, and teenage pregnancy.
Right.
Yeah, that was the whole focus of it, man. We spent hours trying to figure that out.
Hours, man. And we did it, man. And we did it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it. So but all these guys on this call right now, I remember everyone, and I still see you guys, in passing these days. Everybody's still out there. It's coaching and booze. Everybody's still doing their thing. So that's just a testament to what you guys have learned and what you guys are bringing to the table even today.
Yeah, and I'm proud of you guys and how you take care of your kids, man.
Right,
your children, man.
Right.
That's important, man.
Yeah, I got 2 grandchildren right now, and I'll have 3 by the time Thanksgiving. I'll have 5 by the time Thanksgiving. Hey, it happened so fast. I got one of my daughters having twins, and one is having another child. So I went from 2 to 5 overnight, man. So,
Wow.
Right before Christmas.
Hey, be fruitful and multiply. They following the pattern of their dad.
I'm enjoying the grandkids. I already got them out there on the court. My oldest is 6, and he hooping hard. I had him in the armory last week playing one-on-one with some other kids, man. They were going at it, man.
That's awesome.
Start them young.
That's what you have to do, man. When they love something, you have to take advantage of that. When they're interested in it and everything is going well. So,
yeah, and show that picture of we had that group picture of Kenny, me, and Derek. There we go. We were all with our coaching, all with our playing with the Albany Patroons, right? We won 2 CBA championships with the Albany Patroons. You know, just an awesome time. And I think one of the thing that made it, you know, of course I had my family there, and the other thing that made it was building family.
Right.
You know, and having you guys being able to have the opportunity to coach you guys and work with you guys and you know, do whatever we could to be able to help you was important to us too, man. It made us feel good to see you guys where you are now and growing.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm still in the. I train young kids to this day. You know, a lot of kids because I still try to, guide because my life has changed. I don't have my schedule has changed, but I still get in the gym, get on the court. I can't rebound like I used to because I have a bad shoulder, so I can't retrieve the basketballs and chase them down no more for the kids. But I still have a great joy in teaching the young players some stuff that I know that'll help them out in the future. So it'll never stop. It'll never stop for us, I'm sure.
No.
Man, this is good to see you guys, man. All of you guys.
All of y'all.
Boozer! I can't believe it.
It's like the 6 degrees of separation. Me and Omar had like one of the best youth programs in the business. Keith was my two guard, and Gary still want to be like me.
See, he can't hear you over there, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you know one of the things.
I'll see you on Second Street.
I'm the reason you play basketball.
Big little
Hey.
Yeah, because listen, I said, listen, you know my cousin? You better let me play ball.
I tell you a crazy story. With like I was coaching with the Albany State University, and Doc Sowers at the time that I arrived, and also Gary Denola, we arrived to coach there. Doc Sowers only take 1 or 2 black players. Right? He's like, look, you can't have more than 2 black players, and then, you know, he only believed that black players could play certain ways and white players could play certain ways, right? And so when I got there, man, in that 1 year, you know, I kind of changed his whole thought pattern about what he thought about black players and white players, and then just before I left, right, he integrated his team, and Gary was one of the number one players that he integrated at. And because he would not let a guy play like Gary was playing. Right. Gary came in there and just started doing whatever he wanted to do, but I was like, man, I got to open the door here so these guys can come in here and play the way they should be playing. And then he would win championships. And we finally, in that 1 year I was there, because Doc Sowers won 25, 30 games a year, but he could never beat Potsdam State. Never could beat Potsdam just because he wouldn't have more black players, more athletes, right? And we in that 1 year I was there, we beat Potsdam State. Yeah.
And they never beat Potsdam while I was there, and he never forgave me for that, man. Every time he see me, he'd have something wise to say. I just always ignored him. That's who I am. But you're right. He had mostly. He didn't really have a lot of players of color back then, but things change and people change, and I'm glad that he got to the point that he finally got to.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you guys for the reunion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We might have to have an Albany reunion.
When you come up here, you only
got to do it in person.
Well, hopefully he'll be here real soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, I should be there. I think that's
August
the week.
23rd, 25th, hopefully.
Yeah, well, again, I'm coming back from Costa Rica. I'm in Costa Rica, so I probably can't make it until Sunday.
Hello, where are you?
That's perfect. That's the day we want to honor you.
I'm in Mount Vernon, New York right now, but I'll be traveling to Costa Rica that week, and then I'll be coming back, and hopefully.
My son's in Costa Rica right now. He's been down there for 5 days. He's here now, coming back tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he had a
So
great time. It's nice.
So before you guys go, I just want to make sure you guys all aware of the Jamel Tarver Community Day
who is
this
that? That's
weekend.
Gary. Gary's the one with the noise
Oh,
over there.
that's Gary.
Yeah, he's the one with the
Tell Gary to
noise.
mute his
You
Hey,
phone.
gotta
listen.
mute your phone, man. Mute your phone.
Hey,
I want to make sure you guys are all aware of the Jamel Tarver Community Day weekend. It's going to
yes,
be a phenomenal weekend. And hopefully
I'm
everybody's
involved in
to be
that.
in town. Yes, yeah, I heard. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So
And
hopefully everybody can make it home for that.
Hey, and I want to say this before. Make sure that you and everybody you know get out there and vote, man, because we're facing a tough situation right now. You
yeah,
know, we got to get out there and get involved, brothers. So
yes, sir.
do our part. Every vote counts. Remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Love you guys.
Much love.
And
much
hopefully I'll
love,
see
much
you on the
love, Bobby.
24th of
See
August.
your brothers.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, brothers. Y'all be good.
Point guard
All right.
university.
Okay.
Point Guard University. I don't know.
Go. Nah, well, Keith was the shooting. Keith and Derek was the shooters, but everybody else get in where you fit in.
There you go.
Love
there
y'all.
you go.
Love you guys,
Love you,
man.
bro.
Okay.
All right.
Bless you.
Later.
All right, you ready?
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. All right, Dr. D. All right, Gary, later. Yeah, man. So talk to me before we got a few more minutes here before 8:30. Talk to me about Hudson Valley Community College.
Well, Hudson
Yeah.
Valley- yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
how's it going over there? And
I think it's for us, Hudson Valley's we're trending upwards, so to speak. I think this will be my best recruiting class ever this year, and I'm super excited for what is in store for us this season. We got some great young ladies coming in. They're currently in a local summer league here at the Impact Center, and we're super excited, for the possibilities of the future.
yeah. And what does the future? I mean, in terms of where do you want to go? Where do you want to take this? What does your future look like? Is it there, someplace else? What's your thoughts about, your future and stuff?
Well, again, that's up to God, what my steps are ordered. I'm just here to give back to young people. The reason why I came back to Hudson Valley because of what it did for me. It was a place where I was able to discover myself and create opportunities for myself. So if I can help other young people create opportunities for themselves by way of Hudson Valley Community College, I'll do that as long as the Lord will have me to do it for.
Yeah, no, it's a great facility, man.
Yeah.
I mean, here's some of the young ladies right there.
Absolutely, yes. Oh my, yeah. Those
They're
two-
going to
and
future.
And those two young ladies right now are currently high school freshmen, and they are probably projected to be Power 5 kids. Those two young ladies are super, super talented.
Man, we got to come up there and see them.
And they're both in the Syracuse area actually playing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this or not, but my wife, she played basketball too as well. She got a full scholarship to Fairfield University.
Oh, nice.
And there goes my man right there,
That's
Patchy.
my boy. That's my Apache. That's my guy.
Yeah,
You know?
when Sherelle was playing, we always competed against.
Exodus. Yeah.
Yeah, we were competing against Exodus all the time. He has some great players, man.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he did go too soon, man.
Yeah. He's a good friend of mine. I
Yeah.
talked the day before he passed. I talked to him. It was just he's a great guy. We talked all the time about how we can change New York basketball. He had downstate, I had upstate Western New York, and we were trying to New York City always got a lot of spotlight, but we were always trying to figure out that Western New York, upstate New York had great talent as well, and it was our job to be able to put those kids on a platform that everyone can see that there's talent in the whole state of New York, not just downstate.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was a lot of talent in Albany, but they don't get the kind of exposure that you would get in New York City. A lot of people don't even know that Albany is the capital of New York, not New York City. I mean, people would assume New York City is the capital. No, Albany is the capital of New York. Right.
Yep.
Oh man, I do appreciate you, man. I mean, this was fun. And it just made a couple of calls, made it happen, man. And
So that was,
yeah, especially just sparked when you said the hoop school. I mean,
yeah.
and we're thinking about those Saturdays, man, and those days that we was getting up and all that stuff, man, and how it ended up paying off, man. And then the thing is that you're doing it, right? When I see what Omar is doing, right, in South Carolina, he between his kids and other kids that he's coaching, right, in AAU and working for AAU and stuff like that, see how he's being a blessing, right? And how you guys are giving back, man, and touching the lives of so many people. It's almost like, I'll say this. We were at the Thomas, our reunion on 4th of July. And you think about two people. And I've been talking about reunions all summer, getting together, because you just don't know, right? How important family is. You was talking about being able to make atonement. I mean, you just, because sometimes we could spend time just fighting and battling each other, animosity, all kinds of stuff like that. And life is just too short. So being able to go to the McNair reunion and seeing our family, and then the Thomas reunion, and then seeing it with the Thomas was so crazy, was that my wife in 2018 took a little chart that my uncle had did, and she created a forest. Like, everybody had so many people that she was able to show, at least to the minimum of over 1,600 people, right, that came from two people. Two people get together, and then the results of it is this. I believe it's more, because there's a lot of people she didn't get on my side. I say it's thousands more that we just don't know about.
Wow.
Right? But think about it, out of the hoop school, right? When you think about what I continue to do, what Derek continues to do, what Kenny is continuing to do in terms of, through basketball, teach life skills, right? And what you're doing, right? And then I think look at my kids. Isaiah is coaching AAU right now. Sherelle's been coaching camps forever, right? My wife. When you think about the impact, you started thinking about, when I thought about the hoop school, from it, thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
Whose lives have been blessed because we took the time to share our gifts and our life experiences with them. Yeah. So, I mean,
and like you said, the pebble you drop create a ripple effect, and that's the effect of all of us doing what we do today, because of the one drop of the pebble in the lake, so to speak, and we are effects of that ripple.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah, that's why I say I got to get on here with Keith, man, because it's. And I just started thinking about it. It made me very emotional to think about Omar, his impact on his kids, Boozer, his impact on his kids, Gary, you guys, man, and all, not just yours, but other people, and you're giving back. And that's one of the most powerful things. So this night really blessed me, man. Yeah, so thank you, man. I'm going to have to you have to send me a schedule, and I got to come up and check out some games.
We would love to have you, man. We'd love to have you and your family. Come on up. It'll be a blessing.
Yes, sir. So hold on for a second. I'm going to close out here.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys have been blessed tonight, man. I want to thank you guys for each and every week supporting the Blueprint Podcast, right? Remember that it stays on Facebook and YouTube, right? And it's also on the Phoenix Network. It's on the Roku and also on Fire Stick if you want to check it out as well. And I see every other day or every day that I check, I see the numbers grow in the amount of people that are viewing the Blueprint. So I want to say thank you, man. I want to say God bless you. I want to say, man, Enjoy the rest of your summer, right? I mean, get with your family, enjoy it, man. Get out the house, man. Be safe, right? And I love you guys, and I say this each and every week. If the Lord allows you to wake up tomorrow, make tomorrow your masterpiece. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
God bless.
We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Lowe's More, the Blueprint Podcast. Stay connected and follow us at our website, www.lowesmore.com. That's LOWESMOORE.com. You can also join the discussion on Twitter at Lowe's More and on Facebook at Lowe's More Jr. As always, thank you for pushing your mindset towards a better reality. This concludes the most thought-provoking portion of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast to stay fully up to date with everything we're up to. Until next time, be kind to yourself and each other.
What they teaching is a joke. I ain't buying it like I'm broke. Insufficient funds for insignificant.